The moment I stepped foot on the campus, I just felt like I was home.
St. Ben's was not on my radar until one of my really great soccer friends told me about the school. And that progressed me moving through to my junior year being named an All-American goalkeeper.
I grew up in Cameroon, West Africa. We moved to the United States, leaving everything behind and kind of had to start fresh. My sophomore year, my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. We got a phone call that was just basically saying that he was put in hospice.
I think one of the most important things that I got out of my experience at St. Ben's is the idea that through community, we're capable of great things.
Knowledge is power, and so I felt like when St. Ben's was so generous with the financial aid package, it was hard not to say yes because finances can be a huge burden, and I knew that they were going to be a huge burden if I didn't get great support, and I felt like I was able to get that from St. Ben's.
Our journey began actually on the streets of Cité Soleil in Haiti, and when we came up with a model, actually he came up with a model of 50% of our profits. Like, let's do business and give the money away, Krista. There's amazing nonprofits who are doing great work in the world, and when you take a risk, you identify the worst case scenario, because that's really freeing. And if you can stomach that worst case scenario, which is usually not as bad as you think it's gonna be, then you can do anything. 21 days after getting back from Haiti, we started the business, quit our jobs, and Latitude became a reality.
One thing that I really liked about the program that I was in at St. Ben's, which was biochemistry, was they did the flipped classroom. Teachers aren't always up there, just spewing out words to the students, but it's a lot more engaged. So that definitely came in handy when I started grad school at Duke. Some of the chemistry concepts that I learned, a lot of people who had similar backgrounds as I did didn't really remember them or didn't really understand them as well. So it was just a reminder of the quality education that I received when I was at St. Ben's. And my long-term goal is to be involved in the process of making healthcare better for everybody.
So 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with a neurological condition. My whole right side sort of shut down. My muscles started coming in. And being an athlete, this was totally new to me. Losing function and ability to be just a person and go out and enjoy dinner, go to work. I wasn't able to do that. So I made that decision to have brain surgery. What I learned from St. Ben's is being able to think in those different dimensions. It's not only my physical side, it was my mental, it was my emotional, and most importantly, it was my spiritual side. So even on my worst days when I was really wondering if I was ever going to be able to walk around the block again, I was so lucky to have the support of St. Ben's throughout my entire journey. And I would have conversations with my spiritual mentor, Sister Joyce, and she would help me paint things into a better perspective than I was seeing. And from then, when I was starting to feel better, I said, well, how can I give back?
So I think thinking critically has been a part of our DNA since we started Latitude, and part of that is just looking at unconventional ways to solve the world's problems.
St. Ben's really allowed me to do that for myself, and I bring that to where I'm at with coaching people one-on-one or as part of a group.
Thinking critically for me means someday I might be a part of curing cancer.